When discussing the history of dive watches, the Rolex Submariner often dominates the conversation. But closely tied to its story is another watch, one that shared its origins, cases, and purpose, yet developed a distinct identity of its own. Welcome to CO Chen O'Clock. If you enjoy detailed, reference-driven watch history and thoughtful discussions on horology, consider subscribing to the channel. This is the Tudor Submariner, produced from 1954 to 1999, and in this video, we'll cover its full evolution, key references, how it differs from the Rolex Submariner, and why its heritage remains important today. Tudor was founded in 1946 by Hans Wilsdorf, the same founder as Rolex. His intention was clear: to produce watches with Rolex-level robustness, but at a more accessible price. The first Tudor Submariner, reference 7922, was introduced in 1954, just 1 year after the Rolex Submariner. It featured a Rolex Oyster-style case, screw-down crown, and rotating bezel, with water resistance rated at 100 meters. Shortly after, Tudor released reference 7924, commonly known as the Big Crown. This model increased water resistance to 200 meters, making it suitable for professional diving and firmly placing Tudor in the tool watch category. In the early 1960s, Tudor Submariners evolved alongside Rolex but began to diverge subtly. Reference 7928 introduced crown guards, aligning Tudor with professional dive standards of the era. Later in the decade, Tudor introduced references 7016 and 7021, marking a significant design shift. These models introduced square hour markers and angular hands, laying the groundwork for what collectors would later call the Snowflake design. In 1969, Tudor fully committed to its most recognizable design language. The Snowflake Submariners, most notably reference 9401, blue dial, and reference 9411, black dial, featured large square markers and blocky hands designed for maximum legibility underwater. These models typically measured 39 to 40 millimeters, used acrylic crystals, and were powered by reliable ETA automatic movements. While Rolex continued refining luxury and finishing, Tudor focused on clarity, durability, and function. In the 1980s and 1990s, Tudor Submariners transitioned back to more traditional dial layouts. Reference 79090 featured Mercedes-style hands, sapphire crystal, and a modernized case, often seen as a bridge between vintage and contemporary Tudor. Smaller variants like reference 75090 and 75190 offered reduced case sizes, appealing to wearers seeking a more compact Submariner. These late-era models remained in production until 1999, when Tudor discontinued the Submariner entirely. One of the most important aspects of Tudor Submariner heritage is its military use. Tudor Submariners were issued to the French Marine Nationale and other military units, selected for their reliability, legibility, and ease of servicing. Many of these military-issued watches are now among the most collectible Tudor references. While the Tudor and Rolex Submariners share a common origin, their philosophies differ. Rolex focused on in-house movements, luxury finishing, and brand prestige. Tudor prioritized accessibility, robust third-party movements, and professional use. The Tudor Submariner was not designed to compete with Rolex, it was designed to complement it. From reference 7922 to the Snowflake era and beyond, the Tudor Submariner represents over 4 decades of functional watchmaking. Its influence is clearly visible in modern Tudor dive watches, particularly the Black Bay collection. For collectors and enthusiasts, the Tudor Submariner stands as a reminder that shared heritage does not mean shared identity. If you appreciate clear explanations, historical context, and reference-driven watch content, you're very welcome to join the channel. Subscribe to CO Chen O'Clock for more deep dives into watch history and timeless design. Thanks for watching.